Hi guys, it's Terry. I hope you're doing well today. I just wanted to do a reading here to see what it is that that you need to know. And let's see. We're going to start with the Nine of Wands and the Page of Swords. And the Nine of Wands is telling me that you are really going through some kind of struggle right now, that you really feel like you've been through it. You're battle weary, if I can get that word out correctly, feeling a little protective, a little defensive. It feels like that you feel like you really have your guard up, your walls are up, that it's a struggle right now, and that you are looking at things from every angle to see what it is that's coming at you and what can you do to be prepared. And it looks to me like maybe with the Page of Swords here that you need to find your words, and that it's, that maybe you need to speak up for yourself and see what it is that maybe you're feeling like people are walking all over you right now. Maybe you're feeling like that you're in it alone. But you are not, and that the Page of Swords is saying that speak up, like use your words, speak up. What is going on? You need to speak your truth, and that's not always an easy thing to do. But the Knight of Wands is saying do that in such a way that it doesn't have to be, cold or hard or harsh words or whatever, that you can speak from a place of love and kindness, and talk to somebody, whatever it is that you need to address, the way that you would want someone to talk to you, coming from a place of love and respect and kindness, and, not always feeling like everybody's out to get you. But that you need to speak up and stand up for yourself, and that you can do it in a way that is firm, but it's firm, but it's coming from a place of kindness, and that's not always easy. But I think that is something that we need to do sooner rather than later. And it's, like I just said, it's not easy sometimes to speak up for yourself, and depending on who it is that you need to have this conversation with. And it could be a conversation that you need to have with yourself. A lot of times it can be that you need to have a come to Jesus with yourself, and that having these difficult conversations, facing your reality, it can kind of help put things in perspective, and that it's time to really nurture yourself and take care of yourself. And if that means that you need to speak up for yourself and defend where you are right now, again, in a place of coming from a place of love and kindness. I don't know about you guys, but everybody has this internal monologue in your head, where you're saying to yourself, like, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not funny enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not whatever. And it's really hard to do it. It's really changing their narrative. And instead of like, I'm not good enough, this is something new that I'm learning. And maybe I need to find a better way or a different way of saying whatever it is that's upsetting me or bothering me, or finding another way that works better for me in the way that I, speak, think, whatever it is. Because I feel like, again, that you're really going through it right now. And it's really a tough struggle. And that maybe something out of left field came at you that you weren't quite prepared for. And that can be scary. It can be really, really scary. And and sometimes people tend to charge forward when the whole world is falling down around them, and have their head in the clouds and like la 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 la. I don't see anything. I don't hear anything. I don't speak anything. Then I'm just kind of floating along doing my own thing, and that really is not always the best way to move forward. That instead of having your head in the air or up in the clouds and just kind of like going along, that, you really want to put your nose to the grindstone, and then it's time to just, again, put your nose to the grindstone and work and keep at it. And whatever it is that is the most important thing to you right now, and whatever it is that you're working on, whether it's job, relationship, friendships, family, that it's really calling for you right now to give it your time and your attention. And that's not always fun, it's not always glamorous, but you get out of your life what you put into your life. And floating along with, floating along with your head up in the air and not paying attention to where you're going can be detrimental in the long run, because eventually you're going to wake up and be like, where am I and why am I here? And this is not how I pictured my life turning out to be. And, really thinking about what it is that you want and how it is that you can get there and what it is that you need to do and the steps that you need to take will really go a long way in helping you get what you want. And again, it is right now, I feel like there's a lot of chaos going on, and again, maybe your thoughts are keeping you up all night, and you're just like, maybe I need to start looking at things differently and thinking about things differently. Or maybe it's your body's telling you, dude, you need to take a rest. Like, you're working too hard, you're trying too hard. Or maybe you're completely overthinking whatever it is that's got you, feeling so defensive and so caught up and so in a position of like feeling like you're being attacked from all sides. Maybe it's time to sit back and think about, is this my reality? Is this what I think my reality is? Am I looking at this from all the right angles? Because ultimately, I really want, I want the 10 of Pentacles. I want the full life. I want, to feel happiness and fulfilled and joy. And whether it's, friendships or in your job or, in your family relationships or intimate relationships. And we all want, we all want to be happy. And happiness looks different for every single one of us. And maybe it's not, this big, romantic thing, or maybe it's not having the perfect career, or the perfect family. Like, happiness for all of us looks different. And there's nothing wrong with really sitting back and looking at what's important to you and what makes you happy. And we're all different, and what we need to feel happy is going to be completely different than what somebody else needs. Like, you look at me and my sister, I'm quiet, I'm introverted, I am very much a person who likes her alone time and being by herself. And my sister, who I love dearly, is an extrovert and going out and, being the life of the party and I don't know. We're just so different. Like, just being around lots of people and go. And that's really, really, it drains me. And I feel like, I must drain her sometimes too. But it's time to really pay attention to what it is that makes you happy. And it's not always going to be the same thing that makes everybody else happy, and that's okay. Sitting in your femininity, in your power, in your confidence, and saying like, this is me, this is who I am, this is how I think, this is how I feel. That's it. Like, this is who I am, and if you like it, great, and if you don't, great. And I feel like, where's the card that we were looking at earlier, the Knight of Wands, when we were talking about, communicating, and it's being very much this nurturing person that can speak up for themselves, can be very emphatic in what it is that they want or how they feel, or addressing, whatever it is that's going on in their lives, but coming from a place of love and respect and care and nurturing and knowing that we all communicate differently and we all hear things differently in the way that we communicate, and being conscientious of the fact that, words have power. And, when you sit in your feminine energy and say, it's not necessarily being soft, but being firm and kind and firm, I think can really go a long way. And yeah, like, it is a struggle right now, whatever you're going through. I mean, you just feel like that you're carrying this really, really heavy burden right now. And it really makes you feel like you've been like knocked flat on your ass, and it's not a comfortable feeling at all. And it's a struggle. And, the King of Wands is saying, dude, I want to be over this part. I want to be sitting back comfortable again, where everything is kind of looking out in the direction I want it to look out, that I'm feeling a lot of energy and excitement around whatever it is that's going on in my life right now. And right now you're not feeling that at all. And let's see if the cards have a suggestion on where you could be focusing your energy right now to kind of get away from feeling that feeling, or maybe what it is that you're struggling with right now, that you're feeling apprehensive about speaking up for yourself and putting yourself first and your needs first. Let's see. The Two of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. You are clearly struggling with some kind of decision right now, and it's not going to be an easy one. There's not, it looks like there's two choices, and whichever one that you pick, I feel like is going to be the right one. It's going to work out the way that you want it to work out. But sometimes, when you make these decisions, while one decision, is the right decision, the other decision could be a really hard decision, because maybe you're hurting yourself, maybe you're hurting somebody else. And sometimes you're just picking like the lesser of the two evils, and that totally makes sense. But it could also be, that you're feeling very out of balance right now, and the decisions that you need to make, you just really don't want to, and you're feeling very frozen and trapped, and just not ready to make a decision. The problem is, when you have like all these balls in the air and you're like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, not making a decision is making a decision, and it's probably not going to work out the way you want it to work out. So when you have the choice and you're in the driver's seat, you need to make the decision that's best for yourself. And again, it's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be, some people might get hurt. It might be you that gets hurt. Are you willing to make that kind of sacrifice for yourself? I don't know. I think only you can answer that question. Let's see, is there any final message that we have here? Any final message? Let's see. Oops. Okay, that was a lot that came out at once, so I think that we're probably not going to look at those. But, all right. Yeah, well, yeah, the Three of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, the Lovers, and the King of Swords. And all of this is just telling me that there's something that you're not wanting to face. And I feel like there's the decision that you want to make is not going to be an easy one. And that since it's the Lovers that came out, it could be in your personal relationships. But again, not making a decision is making a decision, and feeling frozen in place and struggling to speak your truth and speak up for yourself really is not going to work out for you in the end. You're your own best advocate. You're your only advocate. And, you know, you need to speak your truth. I hope this resonated with you. I'd love to hear what it is that you're struggling with, and maybe down in the comments, and maybe it's something I can help you with. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.